In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to take a dust sample for lead. This is generally conducted in those parts of the house where children and indoor pets spend time. Before you start, you need to make sure you've got everything ready to go. And the first of those is the chain of custody provided by the lab. On the chain of custody, you'll notice a sample number, and this number needs to be on the test tube that's provided, or the container provided by the lab. You'll also notice that you need to provide a description and the area that was sampled. So it's going to look something like this. I always include the date, the sample number to match what's on the chain of custody, the area, the type of sample, so this is going to be a dust wipe, the area, Sam's bedroom, windowsill, and also the area that's going to be sampled. When it comes to dust wipes, you need to define the area, and it needs to be at least 900 square centimetres, and that can look something like this. It can be a 30 by 30 centimetre, and what I mean by that is the area, the internal area is 30 by 30 centimetres. So I've double checked that with my ruler that it's 30 by 30 centimetres. Make sure you don't include the tape itself. The tape needs to be lead free, and preferably it doesn't stick to surfaces so it doesn't pull paint off walls. So that's what a 30 by 30 centimetre. When you put the tape down, make sure you don't disturb the dust in here as you're doing this. Another example is a 90 by 10 centimetre sample, and that's going to look something like this. Now to do this, I just use a tape measure to measure it out, and I'm making sure the inside of this is 90 centimetres by 10 centimetres here. Remember, you don't include the edges of the actual masking tape when you're doing your calculations, and don't disturb the dust inside the sampling area. Windowsills can be a little bit tricky because they can be quite narrow. So with this, you're going to do something like a 90 by 10 centimetre surface area. And that's what this looks like here. So the way I measured this was to get my measuring tape up to 90 centimetres, and then I just put this masking tape on, and then 10 centimetres it came to about here. So without disturbing the sampling, I'm just being mindful that I'm doing it like this without actually touching the surface, and then using my masking tape as the perimeter. Once you've defined the area, you're then going to don on your gloves and get the ghost wipe. The gloves are provided by the lab to ensure they are sterile and they do not contaminate your sample. So you're going to don on your gloves. To do dust wipes, you'll be provided with what's called a ghost wipe, and this follows the ASTM E1792 standard. So it's important that you can't just use an alcohol swab, it needs to come from the lab. You're going to open this up like this, and make sure, of course, you've got this close by because you're going to be putting the wipe into the container. Then you're taking the ghost wipe out, and normally I grab a corner and shake it out like that. Open it right up. So opening it up like that, then with your thumb and your fingers, you're going to press quite firmly onto the surface, and normally in an S-wipe motion, try and gather all the dust on that surface. I'm pressing quite firmly. Then the dirty part of the sample, of the wipe, you're going to fold it in. So the dirty side goes in, fold it in half. And then I'm going to do another wipe, normally from top to down in S-wipe fashion, S motion. Top to down, covering that entire area as best I can. Then I'm going to fold it in again and again, and now I'm going to put it into the sample like that and push it to the bottom. That's how you take a dust sample. You need to make sure everything on here correlates with what's on the chain of custody. And to give you an example of a chain of custody for lead samples will look something like this.